Costa Rica's government is proposing some new tourist visa changes that could affect your ability to go in and out of the country. And in this video, we're going to be explaining what those changes are and what it means for those of you who are interested in Costa Rica or perhaps live in neighboring countries like Nicaragua or Panama. Welcome to Entrepreneur Expat. On this channel, we talk all about how to make money online so you can go anywhere in the world. We talk about digital nomadism. We talk about visas, residencies, second passports, and all the things that those of us who enjoy entrepreneurship, travel, and living abroad like to talk about. So if that's something that interests you, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we have coming out on this channel, because there are so many travel and visa changes going on all over the world right now, particularly in the countries that you guys ask us about all the time. We're currently spending most of our time in Mexico, and there's been tons of changes going on in Mexico. Costa Rica seems to be following suit. And again, it's just worldwide right now. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of those updates. And if you are interested in learning how to run a location independent business, or perhaps turning your current business and making it more location independent so you can go anywhere in the world, then sign up for a location independent business consultation below. Both Justin and I have been in online entrepreneurship for over 15 years. So we're more than happy to point you in the right direction. Okay, I got my notes out for this one because I don't want to mess anything up. So here's the proposal. The Costa Rican government, right, is proposing some changes to tourist visas. Now, typically, historically, Costa Rica has been known as being very tourist friendly, very open to the rest of the world, friends with everybody. And it seems that Costa Rica is starting to have some issues, particularly when it comes to cost of living for locals. And they seem to think, and there's reason to believe that the perpetual tourist might have something to do with it. So here is the proposal. Proposal number one is that they're going to do an increase of fees if you overstay your tourist visa by about 300%. Now, nobody should be overstaying their tourist visa anywhere in the world. Don't do it. Do not recommend. 0 stars. However, if you do happen to overstay your tourist visa, it was about $100. Now they're proposing it's going to be 300. Not that big of a deal because nobody here should be doing that. Number two, and this is the important one, and this is the one making a lot of news in the expat spaces, is that they are actually looking to stopping the border run system. So what is a border run system? The border run system basically means that as long as you leave the country before your tourist visa expires, and typically in Costa Rica that was around 180 days depending on the situation. Some people get 30. It just depends. But let's say it's 180 days and you leave the country, and then you go to a country with a hard border. So in this case, it might have been Nicaragua or Panama or something like that. But you actually cross the border, and then you go through the registration process in the other country, and then you come back to Costa Rica. Then they would let you back in and give you a tourist visa, no problem. So they are looking to put an end to that system. They are proposing it. It is just a proposal right now. What the local newspapers seem to think that it's probably going to pass. So what does this mean, right? Because there's actually more to this, because Costa Rica is claiming that this is actually a system that circumvents the processes that they already have in place for example, people to get residency or for people to invest into the country. People who take advantage of the border runs are usually either perpetual tourists, so they're going in and out of the country, but they're practically living there. Or sometimes it's people from other countries like Panama or Nicaragua that they need to go in and out for work or something like that. So sometimes that's a thing and they might be affected. Or it's just people who go in and out all the time. Again, typically what they're going after is the perpetual tourist, because the perpetual tourist typically has a lot of money, a lot of poder adquisitivo, as they call it in Spanish. And then they would be going into the country. They're buying up these but they're doing these short-term rentals like Airbnbs, and then that drives up all the housing for everybody because short-term rentals are usually more expensive than the long-term rentals. So the government is saying, okay, well, this is circumventing people, for example, actually getting residency, or it's circumventing people to be in the country legally, or it's circumventing people investing in long-term leases, which is then causing all these other issues for locals. So, I mean, they have a valid point because we're seeing this happen in a lot of countries all around the world, that they're just kind of cracking down on the perpetual tourists. So here's where it gets interesting. They are proposing that once somebody leaves the country, then there is a 90-day period in which they cannot re-enter Costa Rica once they have left. They're saying that this will give people the opportunity to start the residency process and things like that. It's interesting, right? Because people understand where the Costa Rican government is coming from, and they're making some valid points. And again, local newspapers seem to think that they're going to go through with it, or at least some version of this. But a lot of people are also concerned because it can cause some issues in the region. So for example, right, I was watching an expat in Nicaragua talk about this. He's like, well, let's say I go to Panama, right? And then there's like a stopover in Costa Rica, and then I can't go to Costa Rica for 90 days, even though I don't actually live there. I was just passing through as a tourist. I was there for a day. Now I wouldn't be able to come back on a tourist visa for 90 days. So some people are saying that that might cause some issues in the region. Also, you know, Costa Rica does have the brand of being very tourist friendly and friends with the whole world and open to everybody. And some people are saying this is like off brand for Costa Rica. But the other side of it is what the Costa Rican government is saying, which is these prices have gotten crazy and people are circumventing the proper systems to actually invest in the country itself, which is then causing issues for the locals. And when they say invest, they mean like time and money, right? So investing in the time and money to get residency or a long-term lease and those kinds of things. So we'll have to see what happens with this one. It's just proposed right now. We'll see what ends up happening with Costa Rica, but it's what we keep saying, like stop living in other countries as perpetual tourists. Do things the right way. Get the residencies, right? Now, don't overstay your tourist visas. Don't do any of that stuff, right? Just go through the proper channels if you actually want to live in other countries. And it's the other thing that we've been saying, these things are constantly changing all the time. So whatever is available now, well, it could be a totally different story in 6 to 12 months. And in addition to that, we've also been saying this was going to happen, that Americans have been, and possibly Canadians to a degree, have been accustomed to things being like easy for them, right? It can still be easy for you. You just have to go through the proper channels. So what do you think about what Costa Rica is proposing? Are you interested in Costa Rica as an expat location? Are you in Costa Rica right now? And you can give us some insight on what is going on. Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for giving us your time today, and we'll catch you on the next one.